Believe it or not, while the playoffs have been a juggernaut for the NFL, conference championship games, they came in pretty soft. So the average for conference championship weekend was 47.4 million viewers. That was the least watched championship weekend in 4 years. The reason why I think that is so interesting is that goes against what's been happening throughout the rest of the playoffs, where the average playoff rating is actually up 5%, and at 37 million viewers, it's the second highest viewed postseason in the last 10 years and the sixth highest viewed postseason of all time.
This was 2 Sunday games, correct?
Correct, as is always the case.
But earlier in the week, we had multiple Saturday. Well, we had the Thursday night extravaganza from college football. We had a couple Saturday games, a couple Sunday games,
which is always the case.
Yeah, and they went up. Was it a bunch of bums? Was the whole country getting deteriorated with ice a problem?
Yeah.
Power outages across the Midwest?
Ooh, that is interesting because the prevailing wisdom was that people being forced to stay home would help the ratings, but that's true.
It didn't.
I did not check to see what the power situation was.
I don't think they should have a championship weekend anymore. Just skip straight to the big game.
You can say Super Bowl here. Nope. That is perfectly fine. But yeah, so ratings across the board, really good, except for this past weekend.
Man, I wonder what they just hated those teams, I guess.
I mean, maybe you would have thought maybe it's Alex's way of thinking of the romanticism of the snow game went out the window and everyone was like, this is stupid.
I wonder, the Stidham injury, if people were like, yeah, New England's just going to win.
Yeah.
And I got to get to the grocery store.
I mean, maybe so. The Eagles could maybe possibly finally get an offensive coordinator. They have interviewed Jim Bob Cooter for a second time, so they will see if they will be able to snag him away from the Colts. In the meantime, the Ravens are looking to interview Jim Leonard for their defensive coordinator position. Obviously, that's somebody that we talked about a whole lot before the Cowboys went with Christian Parker. Now, I pose this query to you. Who is the best and who is the worst head coach hired in the last 5 years? For all NFL teams.
Steve DeBerg.
It's not Steve DeBerg.
Hired.
Who's the best?
I'll say...
Who is the worst?
I mean, Mike McCarthy belongs in this conversation somewhere. Where's Dan Campbell on this list?
Let me see where Mike McCarthy is.
Dan Campbell been hired in the last...
He has.
All right, let's roll him out there.
Do you think he is the best?
Let's do it.
That is correct.
Ah!
Dan Campbell listed as number 1 just ahead of...
Ben Johnson.
Alex Guy.
Oh.
Nick Sirianni. Ben Johnson. I'm just kidding. I know you don't like Nick Sirianni.
That's Corey's guy.
Ben Johnson is not in the top 5. He is number 8. Top 5 goes like this. Dan Campbell.
He's 8. You made that kind of a Ben Johnson. He's 8, dude, in his first year.
Yeah, because you guess who you left off? Big shock. Mike McDonald, who was also hired in the last 5 years and actually has his team in the Super Bowl. Dan Campbell is 1.
What a revelation.
Nick Sirianni is 2. Mike McDonald, who nobody knows who that is 3rd on the list, followed by Mike Vrabel and DeMeco Ryans. All right.
Dude, DeMeco Ryans is a fantastic one.
Yes, I agree. Brian Schottenheimer. And this just feels like a bit they're doing at this point because there's 37 head coaches hired in the last 5 years. So right about in the middle would be 19. Brian Schottenheimer is 21. So not exactly in the middle, but they sure do like to put the Cowboys pretty much in the middle at everything.
And that being said, 37 in the last 5 years, that says something bad.
Yes.
In my opinion.
And I don't think I see Mike McCarthy for the Steelers on here, probably because they haven't played yet with him as their head coach, so I don't think they factored that in.
He was on here. He should be on there. He was hired. No, it was more.
That.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
All right, so you guys did great at the top. Who is the worst head coach?
Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon is incorrect.
Oh.
But I do want to point something out here. The Raiders have number 30, 31, and 32. So I know that's not Jonathan Gannon, but I just wanted to point that out. So they've hired 3 coaches in the last 5 years right there, and all 3 of them were in the bottom 8. But the Texans, not to be outdone, they have 33 and 34 with Lovie Smith and David Culley. However, we continue down the list. Number 35, Nathaniel Hackett. Number 36, Frank Reich. But the worst hiring in the last 5 years, Mike Bassick would call him Fingers Magoo. It is
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer.
Dude, it feels longer than 5 years ago that he was hired.
I bet the Jags want that to be the case, too. He was 2-11, skipped out on the team plane so he could oil check some floozy at the bar.
Kicked a kicker.
Yeah, he kicked a kicker, and he was also 2-11. So Urban Meyer goes down as the worst head coach hire in the last 5 years.
Dable being ranked above Schotty is kind of a shot there. But I guess
you just give it more time.
Well,
right?
You know what? Dable did make the playoffs his first season.
That's true. Yet to happen here. Now, would you like a captivating headline from Pro Football Talk?
Yes.
Now, I want you to really take in all of the gloriousness of this headline. Broncos plan new stadium with retractable roof, would have closed it in the snow against the Patriots.
Is this
No, really?
Isn't he the one that is forcing the issue of them hey, they need to play these conference championship games somewhere else?
That was Florio. I don't know if Florio wrote this headline or not, but this is an article from Michael David Smith. But yes, thank you very much for letting us know that in the blizzard, they would have closed the roof on this non-existent stadium. Really appreciate that. All right, let's talk about CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has been added to the Pro Bowl roster if you care about such things. This is his 5th consecutive Pro Bowl, and also with Kevontae Turpin, him and Jake Ferguson all being added to the roster as injury replacements or Super Bowl replacements. Nick Harris pointed out that means the Cowboys have the most Pro Bowlers at the event.
We did it
with 8.
We did it.
So,
team chock full of talent.
Hell yeah.
And Shador's also there. So hey,
whoops.
This might be a different discussion. Will you ever care about the Pro Bowl events again?
No. Especially since I found out how irrelevant it is in the things that matter, like in terms of Hall of Fame and stuff. Nobody gives a crap about the Pro Bowl.
Did you care about it before, though?
I used to, yeah.
And even whenever, in that mindset, you would have cared because they were playing a game.
Yes.
And it was a fun game. It was the best dudes.
Right.
It was the best players in the game playing a fun game.
And it was my football fix.
Yeah.
Without the Super Bowl there yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know. And I know they're trying. They're trying to create ways for you to be interested. I just don't know if I will ever truly be interested in it again. I like the dunk contest and 3-point contest. Those are fun things that aren't the game. But this just it's I'm so far away from it.
Look, man,
because you said if you still care for those things.
It's not for me. But the ratings it draws it still gets 5 million people watch it or something. So
good for them.
Feels like they're doing okay.
Good.
All right. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has threatened removal of voters for violations of the bylaws. Now, they didn't say specifically which bylaws they were. The assumption is that they're the bylaws of letting everybody know who you voted for, as opposed to just not voting for the right people. So they're making vague threats against Hall of Fame voters who may get their vote taken away, not for not voting for Bill Belichick, but strictly for revealing their ballot. By the way, we got our first person come out and say why they did not vote for Bill Belichick, and I thought their reasoning was actually pretty solid. You are limited on the number of people that you can vote for, especially from that contributors and coaches group and everything like that. And the person who voted no said, the 3 people I voted for are never going to get a shot at the Hall of Fame again. And I really think they should be in the Hall of Fame. He was like, look, I'm not trying to slight Bill Belichick, but whether it's next year or whenever, he'll get into the Hall of Fame. These three people, this is their last stand, and I think they should be in the Hall of Fame. And I have to admit, that kind of makes some sense.
Ken Anderson, Roger Craig, and L.C. Greenwood.
Kind of makes some sense to me.
Do they all belong in?
Yeah, we've had that discussion with Roger Craig, with Bobby. I don't think so, but I would not begrudge anybody who does.
Okay, well, those are the three people that he was like, these are the three.
That, yeah,
and
this is their last stand.
This is their last stance. Whether they belong in there or not, I'm voting for them and
he
not
thinks
Belichick.
They do. He thinks they do. I think that's the difference, is he was like, I think they belong I think they belong.
That's
in the
actually
Hall
a
of
really
Fame.
good way to deflect that too. That's
Yes.
a good argument if you want to be like, if you want to make an excuse for why you didn't put Bill Belichick
I
in.
appreciate him stepping out and being like, yeah, I was one of those people. Mm-hmm. We're the K&C Masterpiece.
Gotta be the first one to give your excuse.
I mean, take up all the excuses. That's the thing.